Hey guys, now we're going to do some breaking news. The breaking news are those really quick little articles that we have in News to You about stuff that just comes up without maybe us knowing about it or planning ahead for it. Today is our first online live lesson, and that will be in a little over an hour, and I hope to see everybody there. So today I'm going to do I've got two of them to do. There's the online spelling bee is the first one. Let me increase the size so we can all see it clearly. Okay, now a spelling bee is where people get together and they try to be the last one to spell all the words correctly. One person is asked to spell one word, and if they spell it correctly, then they're safe. Then the next person is asked to spell a different word, and if they spell that correctly, they're safe. Another person is asked to spell a different word, they spell it incorrectly, they're out. And then it just narrows down till the last person standing is the one that never spelled any of their words wrong. So we have an online spelling bee, which normally these spelling bees are done in person. So I'm wondering how it's done online. Seems like it's an easy thing to do to cheat, right? Okay, let's see what it says. An online spelling bee called the Spell Pundit Online National Spelling Bee is May 23rd through 28th. So that is next week. 2 teenagers planned the spelling bee after the annual Scripps National Spelling Bee was canceled because of the coronavirus. Everything was canceled, right? The best student spellers from across the US usually compete at the Scripps Spelling Bee. The students compete by spelling words. Students who correctly spell words stay in the spelling bee. Students who incorrectly spell words leave the spelling bee, right? That was the rule. This year, students will compete in a similar way online. The online spelling bee wants students to be honest. Webcams will record the students. One student will win $2,500. So if they have webcams, then they have a way to look at your whole body and make sure that there's nothing giving you any clues as to how to spell the word. And they don't do words like spelling or students or even comfortable. They do words that you and I have never heard of. It just sounds like a bunch of letters thrown together. So let's try that comprehension piece. The review page, which we know the answers to all of these, but again, it's nice to kind of go over what we just talked about. When is the online spelling bee? Was it July, June, or May? Now remember, we read that it is next week, and next week is still what month? Right, we are still in May. So May 23rd, I always look back at my calendar, even though it's super far behind of all this nonsense. March and April, how dare you stay in my calendar. Okay, May 23rd is next Saturday. Oh, it's this Saturday through the 28th. You can see my calendar right there. Gives me all my important information. Okay, who usually competes from across the United States? Students, teachers, or principals? I bet they could have a teacher spelling bee and a principal spelling bee, but this one was for students. That's right. Where will students compete this year? Online, Washington, D.C., or Denver, Colorado? Now, maybe they change the venue every year, and every year the spelling bee is in a different place, but what's going on right now? We have a coronavirus, right? Everybody has to stay home. So this year it has to be online, just like you and I are online right now. It's no good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and finish this one up and we'll get to the next one.